Hey there, friends. Today I'm back with another Ren song, which I haven't been doing in a minute, which sounds silly to say. Okay, I'm very nervous to record this actually because yesterday I recorded 3 reactions. I recorded Incubus Talk Shows on Mute, I did Next to Normal, the behind the scenes interviews, and I did Ren the Tales, and then my side recorded fine, but all the screen captures glitched out completely. So technically this is my second Ren reaction this week, but it's gonna be the first one you see because I'm obviously keeping my reactions, but I'm gonna have to re-record all of the screen capture, which, forewarning, they might be a little bit off. But this one I tested 3 times, so should be okay. Don't hurt me again. I almost threw my computer. Anyway, but still, this is gonna be the first one you see, and I just miss Ren in general, so I'm very happy to be back. And this song, I know it's Ren and Token, or Token and Ren, apologies because it's Token song. What Does Your Love Look Like? And I know this song came out, I want to say like last week or so, which I did not listen to. I was like, oh, I'm going to do a reaction to it, and then I got caught up on Next Normal stuff. And then I was kind of hoping there'd be a music video, and now there is. So that's really exciting because now I get to finally hear it. And I don't, look, I'm unfamiliar with Token, but because I'm not good with current music, he could be very underground or he could be extremely famous, and I have no idea. So apologies to Token, but I'm very, very excited to hear this song. I do love the title. I love the name, What Does Your Love Look Like? Because that could mean so many things. So yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna get straight to it, and then spoilers for what's coming up next. It's gonna be Incubus, then behind the scenes of Next to Normal, and then the Tales. Because we've got Vincent's Tale, I think he said was coming out next month, the first part anyway, which is very exciting. Yeah, so I'm thrilled. I'm just happy. I'm a happy gal to have stuff to do because life's been a little wacky, so I'm happy for distractions. All right, let's go. We are products of what we see. Accurate.
I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
I'm so, like, I know very little hip-hop. I know, like, hip-hop that my dad listened to, so I know, you know, like, Run DMC or rap stuff like NWA. But as far as current rap, I'm not crazy familiar with a lot of stuff, so I was just really surprised to hear guitar. I'm a rock gal, so I'm just like, oh, and the acoustic, and I'm a big fan of when I can hear the finger sliding up and down the neck of the guitar. I just think it, especially on acoustic, I just, there's something, it sounds good to my ears. So that's just, I don't know if that's really common, but it's new for me, and that's exciting. It's also fun to see Ren doing another collab here, because I've seen most of them. Baggage was the first reaction I ever did, and I listen to that song all the time. I love that song with Chris Webby. I have yet to hear his one with Prof, Pain Salesman. And I've heard obviously his ones with Chinchilla and his one with Nox. So yeah, anyway. I'm a big fan of his collabs. I think they're very, very cool. And I also kind of love this very simple, I kind of like when, I mean, everyone here knows that it's Stone Like the Reactions. I'm a big fan of when things are kind of stripped down. And I love that it's just like, guy messing around on his guitar, guy sitting there writing. It feels very, you know, if any people out there were like maybe songwriters or poets or writers in, you know, high school or things like that. I was a writer, and so I constantly had like a notebook out, and I usually had the actual schoolwork I was supposed to be doing like this, covering up line by line when I finished it of of what I was writing in my notebook as far as a story going, which is hilarious because all my assignments always had like a bunch of pencil on the back of it, like screwed up because I was like slowly covering up the work I shouldn't have been doing in class. But there's something about this that feels very, just kind of sweet. Maybe that's not the right word, but I don't know, it just does. It feels very real of like, yeah, this is the writing process of just kind of getting you, it's just more reminding you that like, these are people getting their feelings out. I think that's kind of sweet. But I kind of want to go, I was so just like distracted by the guitar. I listen to the lyrics, so I kind of want to go back real quick.
I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? 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 As much as I do want to love you, I feel like we're speaking two different languages. Your house had the gate and mine had instigated, so that's the environment we feel safer when you thought.
Your house instigated, mine instigated. Interesting. I really like that first line. The I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. Or I can't remember the exact lines, but the idea that like we might not be working, because I don't feel like that doesn't get brought up a lot in songs or just in general. Just because we're not right doesn't mean I'm not right. I might need to be exactly what I'm, or I'm doing my best, or I'm what I need to be based on what I've gone through in my life and my experiences. But that might not be the right person for you, and I can still love you, and maybe those things still don't mesh. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad person, or that I haven't put in the work that I need to do. We'll see where the song goes, but I just kind of really like that sentiment a lot. Because I think that you just sort of never know what someone's gone through. I know I will sometimes get a lot of crap from newer friends I have of like, oh, you know, you're always really down on yourself. You always have low self-esteem. But friends who've known me for a long time are just like, you have no idea. This is like of how much I've grown. People don't know how much you've grown if they've just met you. They don't know the things you've been through and the sort of experiences you've had that may lead to you maybe having to do more work or just different work than other people. And like, you know, the sad truth is that not everyone has the same, the starting line is not in the same place for everyone. In a perfect world it is, but it's just not, whether it comes to, where you were born or your family or body chemistry, whatever it may be. Not everyone starts in the same place. And you can't expect everyone to be in exactly the same spot. It's not okay. So anyway.
Thought it was crazy how long that it took me to tell you I love you, like that was the weirdest. I only heard Dad say I love you with Mom in the room when he went back to singing his lyrics. So how could you blame me, cause you always choose to. You always choose to. You wanna know where I be at all the time, but that's not what I'm used to. Not what I'm used to. You knew where your dad was at work or he's home when he's taking the load up. I didn't know where until 1:24 the day I got that phone call. And I let the phone drop. I'm trying to be my best to be a gentleman. I'm trying to learn. I never had the chance. I still look to my manager, but he gon' teach me how to be a rapper before a good man. I grew up afraid to find a letter on mama's dresser telling us goodbye. I'm used to.
That's really interesting. The whole thing of like getting upset when it takes someone time to tell you they love you. But that's, I don't know. I think that's really interesting. And all this is reminding me, because again, film nerd, I have to give some type of film thing. I don't have to, but I just always am doing it because that's where my brain goes. This is reminding me quite a bit of, there is a movie that I'm thinking of a lot. It's an Italian film called The Children Are Watching Us. It's from like the 40s. I think it's by De Sica. I always forget the last name. Vittorio De Sica. He famously did The Bicycle Thief. But yeah, it's about a couple, it's about a little boy who's watching his parents fall apart and his mom ends up leaving and just the idea of like, they think that they're keeping it from the kid. They're not really thinking about it. They're trying to kind of do it where he can't see, but the idea that no matter what you're doing, if you're someone's parent, they're going to be watching you and they're either going to be modeling their behavior off of wanting to be like you or wanting to be the opposite of you. But regardless, the things you do have a strong impact on them because that is their only version of what reality is. It's that in television. And that's pretty much it. That's why a lot of kids my age were raised on TV. And 100%, I mean, to make it personal as I tend to do, I learned at a pretty somewhat early age. I started therapy briefly at 9, but more in middle school, realizing that a lot of my qualities that I didn't like about myself were present in my dad, who I didn't like those behaviors in him either. And I could have either just been like, well, that's me, I'm like my dad, or the other way, I'm like, I gotta get better because my dad won't. I have to take all those things I don't like about me that I know I'm like him with, and I have to try to fix that because I don't want to be him. All this thing, I love my dad, and we get along good for the most part. We kind of understand each other, but it's that thing of like you see. And especially if you see yourself, like he's talking about wanting to be a gentleman and like the fear of saying, I love you right away is not only is it because it's the fear of ending up, of repeating these behaviors you've seen, but also you understand the weight of the words I love you. If you don't hear it very often, then you don't want to say them if you don't 100% mean them, which I don't see a problem with. I feel like sometimes people want I love you too fast. They have to, I don't mind that being not said sparingly, but taking a while to get there. If someone wants to for sure mean them, well, I think it means more when you finally do say them. I don't know, I'm babbling. I also really, really, really like how the song sounds. I haven't mentioned that yet. It sounds great. I am enjoying this quite a bit. All right.
I grew up afraid to find a letter on mama's dresser telling us goodbye. I'm used to it all, so you don't gotta hold back a cry. But I gotta tell you why I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
I'm not right for you, but I won't get up and leave. Cause I hate the pain that has colored my veins, that is present in solitary. What does your love look like? Does it look black and white? Is it your kryptonite? Do all your demons get louder at night and the voices get softened when we're intertwined? I've been going to therapy lately, cause the cause and effect made me hate.
That's interesting. This is based on what I remember from, I watched Ren's The Chapters a long time ago. But he does talk about being in certain relationships and him being the one that's like, I know this is bad. I know it's not working. I'm not gonna leave. And that probably comes from, I know his parents, I'm sure he's about to get into it, the idea that his parents divorced. So it's like, I won't leave you. I'm gonna stay in this horrible relationship until you leave. And that's also incredibly toxic. So we had the point of view of like, I'm doing my best, but clearly maybe we're not right for each other just because you're great the way you are, I'm great the way I am. Maybe those two things don't mesh. Whereas in this, it's like, we might not be right for each other, but I'm not going anywhere. Is just kind of, it's just a really interesting thing to cover. I'm sorry, I'm really enjoying the heck out of this. I love songs about love and about relationships that take them to just show me something different. I'm sure there's other songs like this, but I haven't heard them. I'm a sucker for a good love song, but I like ones that sort of examine it from a more realistic place. And the fact that it keeps cutting back to just these two, like on this porch, writing and playing, makes it feel more intimate. Like these two guys are just kind of sharing what they're going through and like just sort of getting their thoughts out. I think it makes it reflects the intimacy of the song itself, and I think that's really cool.
Voices get softened when we're intertwined. I've been going to therapy lately, cause the cause and effect made me hate the way that I feel when the loving gets real. Cause I just wanna run and escape the pressure that paints me. Pressure of safety, pressures of promises that turn to maybes. Pressure of bravely moving in the same direction. The pressure been driving me crazy. So my therapist said that these wounds that I kept were created when I was a kid. And just like that, all my thoughts raced back to a Welsh town, 96. My mother was crying, my father was screaming and shouting, denying the sin of deceiving and cheating and lying. The weeds are uprooted, the garden is dying, but still she forgives. This cycle repeats every night. I try to.
Still she forgives. The whole thing of like, he's almost taking the stance of his mom of like not wanting to argue or leave. Which that's also a thing of like the whole, what does your love look like? I think that there's something about, you can be with someone and love them, but you don't know what that love looks like until it's been tested. You don't know, like you shouldn't marry someone until you've been in a fight with them, because you don't know who they fully are until you've seen them upset, until you've seen them angry, until you've been through something intense. What was it? It's a Bill Murray line, I think, weirdly enough, that I think it was him. I could be super crazy. The idea of like, he thinks you should, until you go like travel the world with someone, is obviously someone who can afford to travel the world. But until you do something that might be kind of stressful with somebody, you shouldn't marry them, because then you're going to find out exactly. That's why a lot of people broke up during quarantine. My parents did. My parents finally got divorced during quarantine, because it's suddenly they were just like, everyone was trapped in the same room. They weren't allowed outside. So it happens. I really like this song a lot. It just is something, it's like strangely catchy, but also there's something about it that feels, kind of, like, I can't figure out what song it sounds like. It's kind of driving me nuts. It's funny, it sounds kind of like rock songs I heard in like the late 90s. I think it's just in the way that the beat is a little bit, but it sounds really good. I'm just babbling. Aw, little not quite baby Ren. Cutie.
The weeds have uprooted. The garden is dying, but still she forgives. This cycle repeats. Every night I try to sleep, hearing the screams through concrete. Mothering peace, a vision of love, a lesson that fused with the cells in my blood. A lesson that taught me that love ain't enough, and that love can be porcelain when times get tough. Flash forward 5 years later, sitting in the passenger seat of my dad's car with my maker. My dad looked shaken, turned to face him. The words that he spoke cutthroat like razor. He said, Ren, sometimes love can be complicated, navigating a world that we co-created. And I've made mistakes, but I will love you daily. And just like that, it's just me and my mom.
God, that's rough. I'm very pleased that didn't happen to me, though it is weird. Like, I found out as an adult that my parents almost got divorced a couple times when I was a kid, which is so weird to think about. Of like, I had no idea that stuff was going on, which I'm glad I didn't. But there's also a weird part of like, partially feels kind of like some of your childhood was a lie. It's a weird feeling. But my dad didn't start leaving periodically until I was an adult. Even then, it's just because he's not like there was another person. He was just depressed and not dealing with it. Big shock. Guys tend to, some guys, it's getting better in the world, I think, tend to not, they just kind of bury it down. But I'm talking about just so much about how his view of love has been so skewed by love is like, as far as like for Token, love is a serious thing you don't say unless you mean it, because he heard it so little. In Ren's side, love is a terrifying thing because of the screaming and things like that. That was like, love is scary. Love makes you like, I've had friends who it's like, they aren't dating anyone and they won't date anyone because they're like, when I'm in love, when I'm with someone, I hate who I am. I'm not a good person when I'm with somebody, which is a terrifying thought. And I hope that they eventually find someone, maybe find that they were just maybe with the wrong person. But the idea of like, no, love makes you bad is frightening. It's funny because I'm saying all this and I've dated like nobody. I've like never really dated anyone. So I'm speaking about all this as like being the ongoing therapist for all my friends and hearing all their insane relationship stuff, and there's some crazy stuff. But I'm saying all this to be fair from the point of view of someone who's never been with anybody. So, you know, maybe I'm full of crap. Who can say? I'm just like, I'm your friendly neighborhood ace person.
Mom and my sis, the stress left mom disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new and strong for my sister.
Let me hear that real quick.
And I've made mistakes, but I will love you daily. And just like that, it's just me, my mom and my sis. The stress left mom disabled for a bit. I grew up fast then, cause I gotta be.
No, stress left mom disabled for a bit. Reminds me back to Ren's song Power, the whole thing of me, I hate to see my mom alone. And that's the roughest part, is that you just like, it's less what he, you know, it's less what the person who left did and more about just concern about the parent that's there.
Strong for my sister, my mama confused, but moving through the confusion. My born new love feels fake like what does your love look like? Does it tell your Let
me hear that.
Grew up fast then, cause I gotta be a new and strong for my sister, my mama confused, but moving through the confusion. My born new love feels fake like what does your love look like?
I love the idea of like the way they've made all of that this is very natural lighting. It's like they just got the lights from down below and like a lot of them, it's not crazy super well lit, and it's outside. There's something very calming about it, even though they're sharing these deep thoughts. And then all the stuff obviously in the past, it's kind of blurry, which a lot of times when they're showing like memories, it's usually blurry and kind of sepia toned-ish, which they're sort of doing the like more kind of saturated colors, but also like a warmth light to it. And it also shows that, like, you know, the haziness of memory. It's a cool way of just sort of illustrating memories and past times. It's common in film. But yeah, I'm talking about how his version of dealing with things was he had to be an adult for his mom and sister, and so it's just bury it down kind of a thing, which also makes sense for him talking about how he won't leave bad relationships. To leave is to confront the bad things that are happening, and that's scary.
But moving through the confusion, my born new love feels fake like what does your love look like? Does it tell your inside? Does it keep you up at night? My brother. Does it make you feel like a fist in your windpipe? Suffocate the feeling of what love's meant to feel like. Navigating through, but I'm still not quite right. One night stand, make the pain stop one night. One more heart to the blade in my cold night. What does your love look like?
so cute. Sorry, I'm just like, oh, just a little boy. But yeah, the difference between the two of like, what does your love look like? As in, what does your love look like? It looks different than my love. We don't match. Versus, what does your love look like? Is it as messed up and like, is it as messed up and painful as it looks like in my head? Oh goodness. I'm glad you're in therapy. Maybe get some more.
You realize how hard that I work and you told me you feel for me. If I lost all my motivation tomorrow, would you still love me? It's easy to love when I'm up, when I'm down and you leaving. You can't even give me.
Ooh, showing that thing of him coming in behind his girlfriend and flashing to his dad doing the same thing. It's that fear of repeating the same mistakes. Oof, well done. Well done. Well, I'm like, yeah, you're upset that I'm busy a lot, but also, would you like me if I didn't do anything? Would you still like me if I gave? It's like, basically, it's, you know, if I give you everything you claim you want, you probably wouldn't be very happy about it.
Me an answer cause you never seen it, and that's why it's hard to believe it. If you needed help but I'm too far away, is it over for you? Maybe I'm just not the person for you, even though I still could be the soul for you. Maybe we are meant to be together, but our history got in the way. Your trust issues, my fear.
That's such a good line. We were meant to be together, but our history has got in the way. Oof, that's a good line. Yeah, that's what it is sometimes. Ugh, sorry. There's a lot of really great lines here. I don't know. Let me know if I should like look into more Token songs, because this is like, he's a great writer. Really, really great writer. And then that looked like a little chain around his wrist. Let me see that.
Maybe we are meant to be together, but our history got in the way. Your trust issues, my fear issues, too many issues at play. You yell fast, I get quiet, you wanna see more passion. I've seen what real yelling can lead to, so no, I don't have it. I grew up afraid to see holes in the wall in the room. Now
That's such a great illustration of him wanting to comfort her and make a connection, and all of his fears and his like trauma and history, like feeling like a physical thing holding him back. Oh, that's such a great way of showing that. Sorry, I get excited. That's awesome. I really, really liked that. Sad, but it's great.
yelling can lead to, so no, I don't have it.
Yeah, it's like, you want us to yell and communicate. I've had that issue too, even with friends who, like, I will get upset they don't want to talk about stuff, but they're from maybe abusive families, and they know that, like, talking things out looks very different in their history versus in mine. Or, you know, my family didn't yell a ton, except my dad, but in theirs, it would be yelling, and then that would immediately go to violence. It's, again, you just don't know what someone's been through, and you have to communicate to find that in-between place.
Grew up afraid to see holes in the wall in a room that was locked from inside. I promise I'm used to it all. You don't gotta ever hold back and cry, but I gotta tell you why I'm not right for you, but I'm just what I should be. You try to change me, I try to change you. We never change, do we? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like? What does your love look like?
That was freaking great. Oh, and he co-directed it too? Heck yeah, Token. It was very well directed. Very simple, but very well directed. That was great. I liked that a lot. And I'm just a fan of, and it's a lot of dealing with some of the inner turmoil of specifically, like, I feel like guys don't, I feel like a lot of male writers don't really go into that deep part of themselves of, like, yeah, here's why I'm not doing great. Here's why this relationship isn't working. So I just think it's really great to have a song out there like this, because I feel like it's going to, I haven't watched any reactions to it, obviously, because I haven't heard the song, but I might go do that now, just because it'll be interesting to hear what specifically, like, male reactors, especially male reactors who are in the hip-hop community, what they have to say about this, because I think it could lead to a bunch of really interesting discussions. So anyway, that's it. That's my reaction to it. Very good. Liked that a lot. I will be putting that on my little playlist to listen to in the car. And yeah, let me know if I should listen to some other Token songs. I might just do that on my own. But if anyone knows his stuff and has, like, certain recommendations, if I like that one, what maybe has a different or a similar vibe to it, or a different one, let me know. And soon those other ones that I've got to fix will be showing up. Oh, I was so mad when that happened. If this didn't record properly, I am going to throw my computer into the wall. That's a wrong thing to do. So I will not be doing that. Alright, so there we go. That was my Ren and Token reaction, Token and Ren reaction. That was awesome. See you guys next time. Bye, everybody.